Hey everybody, Rodham here for another episode of the Desert Survival Series. Thanks for tuning in. To go over some of the suggestions I got, Ethan Hurst mentioned that it might be wise for me to double insulate some of these bedrooms that I recently made. Now, the issue I had before was that my bottleneck was a lack of materials. That obviously won't be the case this episode. I'll be able to get the materials, so I think it's probably a good idea to double insulate that. Scrolling out, it looks like most of the base, save for a few spots, are double insulated. So I'm doing pretty good on that front. And then Anonymous Spock mentioned that it's probably inefficient to feed Earth raw food because he'll eat 18 stack rather than a normal 10 stack if it wasn't raw. So let's go and fix that. We're gonna make 3 simple meals out of vegetarian. And basically he'll be eating rice. I'll make it any vegetarian, I don't really care what kind of vegetarian. And yeah, then we'll have to change the food restrictions for him from bad food to not include raw food, but only include simple meals or NPM if you can find it. I don't have an NPM machine anymore, so that's kind of a moot point, but I digress. And let's continue. We are getting the last bedroom all set and done, which is great. He's been sleeping in the kitchen and other weird places. Now, if I want to start filling in some of the blocks that I have, what I need to do is start hauling the sandstone that I've been neglecting. So Quell here is actually mining some sandstone, but we'll still need to get some more of it. It is a little bit of an expensive endeavor, I guess. Another thing I might be able to do is mine through this mountain here. Clearly there's some passage that doesn't have overhead mountain there, so I'll get that done. And speaking of which, and thinking of which, let's go ahead and slate wall this up, just so that the buggies can't get through, or at least not easily. And then another thing I wanted to do was to add some chimneys everywhere. So with that in mind, let's go ahead. This solar power panel is going to keep our batteries charged up. And I realize that. I know that is basically the purpose it will serve. We're going to move this wind turbine just a little bit. And in fact, I'd rather not rely on the wind turbine to carry the power. So we're going to run power to it like that. And yes, I realize that during a toxic fallout, it's probably not the best time to do outside work like this, but if not now, then when? I do have some space. No, I don't have enough space here for... So what I'm doing here is, because I am going to be getting rid of this power here. Now, I currently have a zone that restricts people from entering there. So Omni and Milla, who are not... well, Omni's a miner, but I don't care if he's mining. Milla is not a miner. They will be able to go there and destroy that. And I was checking for remove roof area, and obviously for good cause, because all that was very, very wrong. That's probably enough painting it. Alright, so we have a lot of projects on the fire here. And I'm just about out of sandstone. One thing I can do to increase the amount of sandstone is just allow them an unlimited radius. Now that I don't have pickup and haul, craftsman running, or woman, running out for one chunk of sandstone isn't all that inefficient. So the problems that I had before doing it that way are moot. Okay, where is Omni? I do have all this beautiful thrumbo. What I'm going to do is, I have 240 of it. Let's first fix some of these big old queues. Where are you running off to? Oh, you're making chunks. Caravan request. Oh. Oh. Well, if we wanted to repair Mudge, this is just about the best opportunity that we have. So let's see what settlement is Cologne. They want a bunch of jackets. Well, I have a bunch of dusters, but I can actually start crafting up jackets because I am definitely, count me, definitely interested in that trade. That is a lot of Luciferium. What I was going to do with the Thrumbo is, because it is very protecting, tribal wear doesn't cover a lot, but what it does cover is important. So let's make some tribal wear out of the Thrumbo leather. And we can give that to maybe the Malayers for protection. I might have to force wear it because naturally they won't be doing it themselves. I guess I could have left the floor in place, but there we go. I guess it really doesn't make much of a difference. I just crafted up another Thrumbo fur, I think. I'm looking for the bright white. Yet there it is. Quell. Actually, you know what? I can just forbid it. And that way, Quell doesn't need to grab it immediately. Now, as I said, this jacket is definitely something I am interested in. 3, excellent. And that is the last of the Thrumbo that I have. Alright, another good one. Santi, you're close. Making some yayo and drugs. Let's get Santi some clothing. There. Now all the Malayers have much better armor. If you want to see the difference, let's go check. Thrumbo, we have 54 sharp, which is important, and 9 blunt, versus basically nothing. That is a huge difference. That is enormous. Even of similar quality, as you can see, cloth does not protect very much against sharp, which is exactly what a scyther attack would be like. We also have 200 camel hair, so what I can do is, let's get rid of that because that was temporary. Cowboy hat, we'll make 8 of them, and we'll make them out of the camel hair, which is very insulating. And then of course we have Devil Strand, which I will absolutely not put towards the jackets. What I'm going to do here is start planting cotton for those jackets, and we can start making the jackets out of elephant leather if we need to. We do have some spare leathers. We have a bunch of camel hide, so maybe not. Well, now I kind of regret moving all this back over to... So I didn't realize how much camel leather I had. Let's try to fix this. Psychoid, but this was cloth. This, honestly, I should just... Yeah, I should unify this. This doesn't make much sense. So, what I'm going to do is put... I'm going to grow sensibly here. Hop. Cotton. Okay. Yeah. Rather than have it all mixed up, group similar crop together. That way it's just easier to keep track. Ooh, that is ugly on the eyes. So how many jackets was that? 23? No, 15. Oh, that's not that bad. Then after making the cowboy hats, I'm going to make... Well, I'll make the jackets first. And we'll start with cloth and camel hide and elephant leather. It's a pretty nice opportunity that I was offered. Alright, so the double insulation is done. I do need to change some roofs around. So we're not standing out in the nasty fallout. I'm also going to want to chimney up some additional areas here. Actually, this chimney is going to be a little different because it cuts into the mountain here. And this all becomes a room as a result. I will chimney here eventually. And those are the last of the chimneys I have, I think. I just noticed something. Let's move the power to where the doors are. I don't really need to do it there. Just like this. And that way, in the case of a short circuit, it's not an open circuit that goes kaboom. That would not be good. Alright, so here are the cloth jackets. We have a whole lot of dusters too, so I'll probably end up bringing a lot of my stuff to market. Additionally, we have a lot of weapons that I don't care much for. So we have a knife, and that looks like a gladius. So honestly, any weapon that isn't a longsword or mace, just melt down. And then auto pistols, we have a few. We've got a revolver there. And we have a bolt action. And we'll melt all that down. It does appear as if I am in need of some additional fermentation barrels. So let's roll out with some of that. They're fixing my silly planned farm, which is swell. So thank you for that. Making the beautiful jackets. I guess I should have done, what I should have done is do until I have, I think it was 15. I'm going to check again. Yeah, 15. So do until I have 15 of normal or better quality. Now, I don't think Omni's going to make any poor stuff, but this way I'm definitely making as many as I need. And once we make it, just drop it. We have a temp clothing stockpile here for a reason. Okay, Roman is working on that turbine. Let's deconstruct the old one. That will speed this up a bit. If you're wondering why I moved it a little bit, It's so that it's not right up against the building. Not all that important. I'm just trying to think about long term. Okay, looks like we are getting chunks out of this mountain here. Let's just keep mining it. In fact, I'm just... no, I'll wait. Clearly, there's probably no overhead mountain there, but... What are we working on here? Components. That's swell. Error revealed. Yep. That is pretty much what I expected. This will allow for some more sandstone chunks. This solar generator now charges the batteries up, so my backup batteries aren't depleted, which is good. Let's build that conduit, and we got cargo pods of simple meals. Well, all right. Earth. We don't even have a place to store them. In fact, I did queue up... ho-hum. I did queue up for some simple meals, but then actually didn't have a stockpile for them, so... Let's call this simple meals and give it a preferred for simple. And I suppose what I'm going to do is I'm going to hope that these meals aren't poisoned in some awful way. Because they could be. And that kind of wouldn't surprise me. But I'll take the chance. It's a free meal, right? And Earth's the only one eating it, so it's not like if they're poisoned in some awful way, it becomes a problem for the entire community. It would just be a problem for Earth. I don't know what they were working on, but I'll have them haul them back. Okay, so looking at this, I've grouped my... Well, not there. I guess this can become psychoid as well. I've grouped similar cloths, or similar plants together. It'll be a little easier to harvest. Easier on the eyes, too, I suppose. How many jackets do I have? I have almost half. Alright, Milla, I'm going to grab you because no one's been making progress here, and I'd like progress to be made so I can chimney up things nicely. And there's a lot of resources sort of tied up in this spot as well. So we'll liberate that. And the chimney here will look very much the same as the other places. I guess this can all be slate. Much like that. Oop, I need a door. Not a uranium door. That'd be an utter waste of uranium. Okay. The one issue with this is that I don't really have a constructor that has access to this spot. Let's see, expand plasteel. There we go. Now Jenny can access this spot. And still not mine at the plasteel. Or mine, rather, at the, yeah, plasteel. I ought to also do a little bit of a health check, make sure that no one's building up any toxicity. If you let it go too far, what ends up happening is you can suffer brain damage, actually. And death in extreme scenarios. But brain damage is probably the most likely scenario. And that's a big old no thanks from yours truly. I like my brain. I don't want it damaged. So because I removed some of the power generation here, I'm spreading it out over here. I like to spread out my power if possible. One of the reasons, or the primary reason I would have to say, is that let's say a Doomsday launcher launches and they drop the Doomsday, you know, directly on your power grid, your multiple, like they dropped it right here. I don't know why they would, but let's say they did. All of a sudden I would be very effed for power. So spreading it out like that is definitely nice. And we're probably generating, yeah, we're generating 15k, which is mass amounts more than we need. We could probably keep everything in our kill box on and running, and it still would not dent our batteries in any significant way, which is good. Overkill, sure, but I feel a little bit more secure knowing that I have plenty of power. And I think what I can also do is flagstone up the perimeter and the chimneys. Just mostly to make it look nice. It doesn't serve that much of a function. I'll be perfectly honest about that. Back here, instead of a chimney, instead what I could do is a sandstone door and just lock this whole area down. That's easy. And all I have to do is remove the roof right there and, you know, no problem. No problem at all. How close are we? Oh, yeah, we're almost to the jackets. We're hauling in the last of the slag to do some smelting. Looking at my materials, I might be just about out of materials. We'll see if Omni digs some up. Having his daily drugs. Look at this. Look at this. A little bit of cabin fever. All right, I can fix that. What can I do? I can have you construct. Can't have cabin fever when you're outdoors, can you? Slept in the heat. How hot is it? It's a little warm. But you know, yeah. I guess it's a little warm. If I'm being fair. Omni has, yeah. It's not perfect. It's a lot of area that I'm trying to cool down for sure. And yeah, I could do a bit better of a job about it. Maybe I can add a few more chimneys. In fact, O'Connell is screwed here. Wow, I really screwed him rightly over. Okay, so let me think about this. I'm gonna add some AC units here to keep the temperature down, and likewise I'm going to add some here as well. Alright. It's too bad I don't have Inspired Trade anymore. You need some rest. Don't I have some Wake Up? Let's take some Wake Up. Alright, so according to the bills... Oh, no, I don't have enough for another jacket. So let's go and butcher one creature. And that should remedy that real quick. We're making the really nice cowboy hats now. The very insulating camel hair. it's different than camel leather. Sort of like if you skinned a sheep versus shearing a sheep. A sheared sheep, you know, will provide wool, whereas a skinned one would provide leather. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you all, but there you have it. Alright, so I'm going to have a really strange chimney here. This just protects our kitchen from insect incursions. I think I'll make the door up there. No, I'll make the door down below. Oh, I have a blight and toxic fallout. Boy, oh boy, am I lucky. Alright, Mr. Blight. Mr. Golden Blight. I feel like I'm playing, I don't know, one of those mobile games where you have to click a lot. Alright, Earth is heading to the Blight to clear it out. That works for me. I'm just going to keep an eye on it, make sure we're clear out all the blighted crops. Because if you miss one, it will just spread. But yeah, I think we're good. The other farm looks good too. Need material, yep. Let's butcher twice, and we've made all our cowboy hats. I'm going to get rid of that bill. We'll have all these really, really nice, very well insulating cowboy hats. Now, if I lift the clear force restriction, they'll probably not put down their thrumbo, because that thrumbo is far superior to the leathers that they had. But I realize on this episode I am running slim on time, and I'd like to complete the. I'd like to get Mudge hooked on Luciferium if I can. So let's go and inspired surgery. Who just flirted with you? Oh no, it was gabbing. Thought I saw a heart. I'd be wrong. Alright, Earth, I'm just gonna have you eat the insect meat, clear up some space there. That was our high meat stockpile that really doesn't need to have insect. And it appears as if our bill is done, which means we have the 15 jackets. What I'm gonna do is send Santiago to trade and also bring those jackets. So, let's see. All of the cloth stuff I'm going to bring to sell. And the damaged camel stuff as well. So here's a jacket. Dusters. I'm planning on selling a lot of stuff. In fact, you know what? It is summer, so I don't think I can bring my camels. The worry is I might overload her and not be able to move. But, I'll run that risk. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff. We're bringing a lot of goodies. Of course, I could always just donate it as a gift. Not that I want to. I guess a bedroll. I'll save the weight. She's fast and it's not that far. Santi and maybe I'm trying to think of who else can go. I guess Jay? No, I'll just send Santi for now. I'll probably add some more people in. Bring the survival meals. That is a lot of loading. So, food restrictions for Santi will allow all food. And get them all to start loading these beautiful pods. I hope I'm bringing all the jackets. I didn't really double check. I suppose what I could do is... let's do it like this. Make jacket do until I have... There. Now we'll know if we leave any jackets behind. I just hit a half hour. Well, I'm going to run a little long so that I can start this process. If I'm missing one cloth tribal wear, I can probably deal without that. Soon I'm going to need dusters. So the next dusters I'm going to make, I'm going to allow dusters to be double strand. Which is good stuff. Obviously. Everyone knows that. Oh, I didn't bring any of my go juice. But I'm probably bringing enough to trade that they're not even going to have money for it anymore. Alright, I need to get this rolling, so I'm going to have them break their sleep and just start loading. This is kind of fun. We gotta be pretty close to being done loading this up. Oh my god, I'm bringing so much stuff, it's kind of ridiculous. Kind of ridiculous. Come on. Could we, speed up this trade? Almost done? There we go. Okay, let's launch group. To visit. We're definitely going to want to replace these pods. We'll probably need to send more people to lighten the load. Fulfill trade order. Done. Alright, the mass is still there. Now let's do a traditional trade. I brought a doomsday launcher. What? Why? I don't remember loading that in. Well, now I feel stupid. Ideally, I would like to sell all this stuff and then buy something that is expensive but light. Oh, I even bought flak pants. Oh, no, that was part of the trade fulfill order. Okay, we're almost of good weight. Archo arm. Bionic stuff. Okay, no, actually, we'll be good. Okay, that is of weight there. Perfect. I didn't expect that to work out in my favor, but hey, I'll take it. It's a big old trade, and we can return home. It will take just a day. Just a little over a day, and we'll have an Archo arm. I have no idea why I loaded up a Doomsday launcher, because that crap's heavy. I didn't even realize I had one, to be honest. I guess I really, truly overlooked it in a very stupid way. Well, that's all the time I have for this episode. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for your feedback. I do find it very useful. If you have any questions for me or comments or suggestions, drop me a line, and I do hope that you tune in next time. Just a reminder, if you're interested in the Black Lake series, today is vote day. So if you're interested in that, hop on Discord or the website, radamont.com, and you can cast your vote. Thanks for watching. Adios.